Could we see the Denver Broncos reunite with an old friend? The Broncos elected to stand pat at the trade deadline in terms of making additions to the roster. The Broncos did trade away Baron Browning to the Arizona Cardinals for a 6th round draft pick, but outside of that, the Broncos did not make any moves at the deadline. I was hoping that the Broncos would make an addition to their tight end room to raise the ceiling and raise the floor of that room both at the same time, because the Broncos tight end room is still lackluster. The Broncos are still struggling to find somebody who can consistently step up amongst that group of guys. We've seen guys show flashes in the pan, such as Adam Troutman and Lucas Kroll, but I think both of those guys have deficiencies to their game that ultimately are going to keep them from carving a long-term role in this Broncos offense. And ultimately, this player that I'm going to be talking about today has his own deficiencies, and this is more of a just for fun video than anything else, because I don't know if he would actually make sense in terms of a legitimate addition to this roster. I am talking about former Denver Broncos 5th round tight end Albert Okwuegbunam. Okwuegbunam was waived by the Philadelphia Eagles today. We saw Okwuegbunam, after being drafted to pair up with his old college quarterback Drew Lock, really struggle with injuries. He tore his ACL in 2020 in his rookie season down in Atlanta, and that derailed pretty much any hopes of him developing. In 2021, we saw him make a nice play here or there, mostly with Teddy Bridgewater as his quarterback, but he still never really established himself as the tight end that the Broncos were looking for to hopefully replace Noah Fant, who they ended up dealing away to the Seattle Seahawks in the Russell Wilson trade. Okwuegbunam was primed in the offseason for a big year 3, and he ultimately didn't break out. He struggled once again, and then when the Sean Payton regime came in, they gave him a chance in training camp, but it was very apparent that he wasn't going to fit what the Broncos were trying to do, and they showcased him in that final preseason game against the Los Angeles Rams for a potential trade, and the Philadelphia Eagles did eventually send the Broncos a late round draft pick for Albert Okwuegbunam. But the Broncos still are in a position now where they are struggling at the tight end position to find somebody to step up, and I don't think Albert Okwuegbunam is going to be a guy who would come in here and be a difference maker at the tight end position. David Njoku would have been, but the Browns were not willing to trade Njoku based on what I am hearing through the grapevine. The Broncos could bring in Albert Okwuegbunam just as a flyer, but I don't think that he would make much of a difference in terms of what they have now. You know, they've got Greg Dulcich still on this roster. They've got Donald Parham on the practice squad. They've got Lucas Kroll. Albert Okwuegbunam is of the same type of tight end as those guys, where they're not really tight ends at all. They're more glorified slot receivers who can't play in line because of their deficiencies in blocking. Especially with Albert Okwuegbunam, I thought that was one of the biggest deficiencies in his game. And after he got sent to Philadelphia, he ultimately never saw the field for them. He recorded no catches for the Philadelphia Eagles. So I don't think Albert Okwuegbunam would make a lot of sense. I saw some people on Twitter from Broncos country that were all like, oh yeah, let's go bring Albert Okwuegbunam back. But yeah, I'm good, man. Alberto, that was a relic from the past that I don't want to go back to. All right, Broncos country, let me know in the comment section below, do you think the Denver Broncos should make an attempt at a reunion with Albert Okwuegbunam through the waiver wire? Drop those comments down below, guys. I would love to hear your thoughts, as always. Be sure to leave a like on this video, as well as subscribe and ring the bell so these videos appear in your notification feed. I would really appreciate it, guys. Those are both free and easy ways to show your support. Helps tell YouTube's algorithm to push us out, and it helps us get seen by more and more members of Broncos country, just like you and me. And before we get out of here, guys, I want to tell you about the affiliate partner for today's video, Whitebeard Signworks. Use code BS30, link in the description below, to save $30 off your first purchase on NFL LED team logo signs just like this really cool sign behind me. And until next time, guys, I am your host, Gage Madrid, saying peace out.